Yeah, that's what you'd mentioned before, where when people say you have low volume, when it's like, well, and you kind of got at me about this last episode here,
Yeah.
but it's like it's over the years. It's not just within a week, right, or within a
Yeah.
session. So
Well, it's because what we see online, we only kind of see what's being shared in the moment. So we think like someone will post something up and say, "This is my session today," and then everybody will ask questions about it. It's like, well, yeah, that what they're doing in the moment is important. I'm sure it's effective and it's helping them out to progress, moving ahead. But it's what they did prior that's what got them to that moment. So I'm sure some of the things they're doing in the moment is what they did in the past, but I almost guarantee it's probably evolved over time. Kinda like me, it was like, it was like low volume, high intensity, and then I added more volume, and then, the list goes on as far as how the context and the approaches have changed over the course of 35 years. So you can't look at my physique now and go, "Okay, what I'm doing now is the reason why I got here." It's a lot of the reason why I'm maintaining things for sure. But yeah.
that makes sense. And it's you could also say how much more precise are your is your execution now versus maybe 10 years ago as well, which could be argued in terms of, yeah, I mean, you don't really know. You could be putting on muscle. Like I maybe
I was a
it's up in
little
the air, right?
Yeah, I was a little looser with form back in the day. I mean, it was still like, in comparison to a lot of other people, it was still pretty tight, but a lot looser than what I do now. So then the question becomes like, okay, if I was really tight back then, how much of a difference would it have made? Would I've been like, would I've gained better? Would have been, who knows? Like, how do you compare that? Like, I don't even stress on that because I'll lose more hair, and I am trying to hold on to that.
It's already well, no, well, I was just more so, I guess where I was going with that as well was in terms of because with regards to the strength, like we both know that if your execution is more precise, there's just more energy going into your sets because of just how you're performing it, your intention behind each rep. Man, you can make the 110s feel, and for the 80-pound dumbbells feel like 110s if you were just A to B
Yeah.
kind of thing, right? So
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
another thing
depends
maybe to
on, yeah,
consider.
leveraging, English, momentum, that type of thing. Yeah, definitely
Right.
shifts things around. So, and again, it's like, what percentage are we talking here as far as like the differences in optimality? Like, who knows?
Just
It's
because
hard to
the
say.
just because the dumbbells aren't getting heavier, and maybe you're getting better at executing the lift, which has value in and of itself
There's
with
so many different ways to progress, which you already know. It's like, okay, it doesn't always have to be load. Maybe it's one more set. It's like, okay, instead of 3 sets with these 80-pound dumbbells, let me do one more set. Well, I mean, you're making your muscle fire, right? You're recruiting more muscle there. So that's just another form of progression. I mean, okay, maybe it's more reps, maybe it's a superset. Maybe the laterals, you can't increase those loads. Of course, you're stuck with the laterals. Add a set or cut your rest time down a little bit. Do some myo reps or whatever. Like there's other forms of trying to progress things outside of just the load. But I do think strength is like when I talk strength, I'm talking like some of the bigger lifts, like
okay.
squat, my deadlift, my overhead pressing. At the time, my bench pressing wasn't at its all-time best, but it was pretty high for years past. So yeah, and I mean, there's just some big differences in my physique. I can tell. Like okay, and there's a difference now in 2019, and then the question is it because I'm not as strong? Is that the reason why my physique doesn't look maybe as big as it is, or is it I'm 5 years, 6 years, 7 years older? Like who knows? Or a combination of the two. Like I don't really know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting when you step on stage. It'll be fun to see.
Well, we'll just say this: like at 50, I'll be pretty damn happy. One, I'll be on stage, but I mean, I haven't deteriorated to where it's like, oh, I lost a lot of size. Like I mean, the thing with maintaining the size in comparison, let's say 2014, when I was at my best, is it's more about how I'm getting there than it is like how the performance is going and things like that, or how much weight I'm lifting. It's gonna be more like how much muscle can I retain while I'm dieting down.
Right.
I
Just a
think that's gonna be more of the factor.
cool, nice. I like what you said though about the every lift will have a shelf. Like you're not going to be doing 300 plus pound dumbbells event. Like it's not just going to keep going up
Have you seen
linearly.
anybody doing laterals with like clean laterals with like 70-pound dumbbells at all?
No.
Or 60, 50? Like